Hello everyone, Ms. Deverly and Ms. Deverly here to talk with you again about some training equipment and how you can use it at home. So we're going to look at one of our favorites, the good old kicking shield. Right now we have a double thick one here. We're going to talk a little bit about how to hold it and how to use it when you're using it at home. So let's take a look at what it looks like first. Here on the back, of course, is we have various holds. We have some on the side, some at the top and bottom, and of course our adjustable straps. So you'll just want to use those various holds depending on what you're doing, and of course adjust the straps as necessary so you can hold it securely but not too tight. Again, it'll vary a little bit how you hold it depending on what you're doing with it. Now the kicking shield is a piece of equipment that we use largely to be able to practice power. It's a little bit more about protecting the holder than more so the person doing the techniques. This is also a piece of equipment that we tend to use a little bit closer in. Normally if we're using this, we're going to have it in such a way that it's close into our body. Sometimes that'll vary, we'll talk about that. But usually it's going to be something that's in close here. As you can see, I've actually even got it touching here at my leg and really here up my shoulder as well. Gives me a little more flexibility in being able to keep it where I want to. This is also something that often when we use it, we're going to want to be flexible in how we're stationed so that we can move with the power that's impacting us. If we got a nice strong palm, heel, or elbow, we want to actually be able to just kind of shuffle back a little bit, step back if we need to. So keep that in mind as you're using it. You don't want to be too rigid when you're using this piece of equipment. So we're going to start by looking at a couple of different things we can do with it, many of which you've done before. We'll start with some palm heel strikes. We can of course do this stationary if I were just standing here. So we can go ahead and do the 4. Good. We can do that same thing with a move in. It makes it a little more difficult, makes you think a little bit more about what you're doing. So I'll step back just a little bit. And I'll tell you what, Mr. Everly, go ahead and put that wedge guard down. We're going to let you come into the wedge. Stop me with this. Stop me with your wedge, and then you'll do your 4 palm heels. So I'm going to step in. There she goes. Nice. Let's try that again. She's minding her business. Good. Great. Something we've actually practiced recently, but it's a good thing to keep nice and fresh in your mind by doing it again. We can do this same sort of thing with elbows. Again, we can start stationary. She can be in her wedge there and do several elbows. Nice. Same thing moving in. I'm going to step back just a little bit. She's going to stop me with her wedge guard, and then she's going to do her elbows. Good. Again, this is a time when I have it in nice and close, really right along the side of my body. And as she strikes, I let myself be pushed back if I need to. We can also use this for a knife hand strike. That'll be slightly different. For the knife hand strike, I'm going to have it, I'm holding here on the side, and it's going to be a side strike. So I'll hold it this way. Go ahead, Ms. Everly. Good. She's going to come through and hit the middle of the target. Just like that. So that's a little bit different way to use it. One of the things we can do as well is something that we've been working on recently, and that is open the door. So I can use this target sort of as my bad guy part. I'm just going to move in at Ms. Deverly. She's going to open the door, just like that. Add a nice palm heel at the end. Let's try that again. Step in. Good. So don't be afraid to do that. That's something that we've actually been practicing in class. Last term, or the term before, we also worked on pushing. And this is a good thing to do again. I'm going to make it a little bit closer here this time. And I can walk on to Ms. Deverly. She can stop me with her wedge. And you can practice that shuffle step that we use a term or two back. Again, if you're getting bored with what we're doing right now and you want to try something new. Another way for us to use this is, of course, to do our knees with, practice knees. Now, if you're doing knees, it's going to be slightly different with the way you're holding this. For knees, we actually will hold it away from the body. I'll again be using the side holds, but instead of having it in close, I'm actually going to put it out a bit. This allows Ms. Deverly to grab it and then to bring it closer to her as she's doing the knee. So we'll do a couple of those to demonstrate. Good. So again, you're holding it out, allowing a little movement so that she can bring that bad guy into her as she does her technique. What am I missing, Ms. Deverly? What else can we do with this fabulous shield? Front snap kicks. You can absolutely do kicks on this. So again, for kicks, you may be holding it a little bit looser. And she'll do it again. Good, and go. As with all of our techniques, you'll need to determine the placement that's best for you. You might need it a little higher or a little lower. You might want it in a little bit closer when you're doing this. So just think about what it is that you're actually doing and what's best for you and your partner. And don't hesitate to move things as you need to. Another thing that we could do is we've been working on our reverse elbow strike, and this is a great way to use that as well. For that, I'm going to have it in fairly close here again, using my adjustable straps. She may need it a bit higher. Again, that will depend on the exact height of the person you're working with. She's just going to come through with her elbow strike. Good. Here you're in fairly close with how you're holding. Again, it'll probably need to be fairly high for this person, and she's going to be hitting this middle part of the shield. And go. And again, as you can see, she's got a good bit of power, so I'm going to make sure that I can move a little bit with this. Let's try one more, Miss Everly. Good. So I need to be flexible with my body to take that impact and move as needed. If I stay too rigid, that's probably going to end up injuring me, and I don't want that. All right? Have fun with your shield, everybody. Be safe.